Hi everyone, this is Jackie, Jack's Creative Inspirations here on YouTube and on Flossbook, and on Instagram I go by the handle at Scrappin' Jacks. Welcome to my channel about crafting, and today I'm going to have a very special Flosstube for you. I first want to say that if you're a subscriber, thank you for coming back. And if you're new and the algorithm picked me out for you, welcome. And please take a look around. If you like what you see, please hit that subscribe button. It's free. Ding that bell so you get notifications, because I'm really not regular about posting my floss tubes. And like the video, share with people. That helps that's what helps this community grow. So I'm sorry that I look a mess. It is Thursday, the 12th of September, 2024. Yesterday was the 23rd anniversary of the 9/11 attacks on the Twin Towers, the jet in Pennsylvania, and the Pentagon. And we never, ever will forget. Never. It is the 12th of September, 2024, which means that this is day one of stitching in the wild. I am coming at you from Montgomery, Alabama, and I literally just got out of the shower. Okay? I literally just got out of the shower. It's hot, it's sticky. I'm sweaty and sticky from handling luggage, 50-pound suitcases, and in and out of the car and all the fun things, and so I'm sorry. And I am coming at you from the Embassy Suites. So, since November of last year, I have been teasing everybody about a super triple secret spy project. The basis of this project was 3 separate stitches for 2 recipients. And I was not going to see them in person to give them these gifts until this weekend. I'm not yet given the gifts, but I wanted you all to see what I did. To say I'm nervous is a gross understatement. I have butterflies. I'm sick to my stomach. I'm ready to just say, nope, not gonna do it, not gonna give them. No, I'll just keep them. And no, I'm not gonna do that. When you have friends, and you have good friends, and you know that they like certain things, or they have a certain personality, or that's what makes them tick, you know what would work for them. And I saw a chart in the hold on a minute, just cross stitch August of 2023. I knew it would be perfect for my friend, and so I did it for him. There were firsts in this one. It was the first time I'd ever coffee dyed a fabric. It was the first time that I was going to make a pillow. Unfortunately, time and life got away from me. So I'm giving this recipient all the parts and pieces for the recipient to do with as they wish for this piece. The second piece that I stitched was published in the World of Cross Stitching number 333, which was June of 2023. The second that I saw this piece in the magazine, I immediately knew who it would fit, who it would be for, what the colors were going to be. You'll see in just a minute. The final piece I saw at Acorns and Threads in Portland, Oregon last year when I was there for the Pacific Northwest Stitch Summit. If you don't know, the Pacific Northwest Stitch Summit is Acorns and Threads' annual fall retreat. And it is going on this weekend as well, and I am double dipping, and I am attending that one in Zoom and this one in person. This was last year's shirt. So, without further ado, here we go. The first piece is called Grand Old Flag by Tracy Richards. Tracy Richards is wrought iron stitching. This was published in Just Cross Stitch, August of 2023. She also had a larger version with longer rows and more rows down, and the blue field was much bigger on her Etsy site. I have it as a PDF, and 2 months later it came out in Just Cross Stitch magazine. I went to her Etsy site one day and the PDF was not there. So I do not know if she has taken it down or Etsy was having a bad moment, but this is Grand Old Flag. 14 count Ada. This was a scrap piece. I think it started out as off-white. I coffee dyed this. It was the first time, like I said, I'd ever coffee dyed a piece. I used the DMC floss in a vintage palette, which is 22, 930, and 3865. Just Cross Stitch had it in 2 colorways, a vintage palette and a bright modern palette. So this was vintage. I started this on the 14th of May, 2024, and I finished it on the 30th of June, 2024. No, there was not continuous stitching on this all the time, because I was working on other projects as well. Okay, I will save that one for last because I have to talk about it the longest. So, World of Cross Stitching number 333, June of 2023. This piece was published, and the designer is known by 2 names. And the second I saw it, I immediately, and it was done, I don't have the pictures with me, I'm so sorry, of the magazine photos, but you see this sampler and you immediately know. If you know samplers, if you know this person at all, you immediately know that's a modern folk embroidery. And it was Jacob de Graaf, and he did it. The model was stitched in red on white linen. When I show this to you, you're going to know who these pieces are for. This couple has a signature color. Everything they do is in this color. Their boxes, the tissue paper, their logo, their shirts. And by now you probably know I am talking about Garon Stitchery, Gary and Ronny Hovater. Let me see here if you can see it. Okay, there we go. This is called Wedding Sampler by Jacob de Graaf of Modern Folk Embroidery. It was published in the World of Cross Stitching number 333 of June of 2023. The fabric is 16 count Slice of Lime by Fabrics by Stephanie. I contacted her, showed her a picture of the sampler and said, you know Gary and Ronny, what's their color? She wrote back this. The floss is Rainbow Gallery Splendor Silk number 5801, black, 2 strands over 1 square. I started this on the 17th of November 2023, and I finished it on the 14th of March 2024. It was FFO'd on the 30th of August 2024. The frame is by Signed and Numbered on Etsy, and the framing was done by Acorns and Threads. And of course, it has the personalization with their name, and this is their wedding date. Jacob also charted the figures at the top of the cake for 2 men, 2 women, and you can substitute and personalize as needed. This final piece, I have a lot to talk about, not because it's the most important, but because it is it had the most changes and the most stuff. And I do have the pictures for that. Hold on one moment. Okay. Okay. The flag was for Ronny. If you know anything about Ronny, Ronny became an American citizen on the 4th of July, 2022. He loves flags. He loves patriotism. He loves hearts. He loves. And when I saw that chart on the Etsy site, I was like, oh yeah, that's Ronny. I'm going to do that for Ronny. And then it came out 2 months later in the world of cross stitch, or just cross stitching. And I went, oh my gosh. So this is the third and final piece, and it is for Gary. Okay, listen, I still want to be invited and I'm not coming. So let me show you. This is the original design. Okay. This stitched piece is a conglomeration of 5 different charts. So the first piece I changed is there's a cat here. Gary and Ronny have 2 poodles. I'm sorry, I've got my phone propped up. They have 2 poodles, okay? Princess Leia and Ginger. One day we were in Zoom and we were chatting back and forth, and Gary made the comment that one night he started throwing overdyed flosses on the dogs to see what colors they were. And Princess Leia was, oh my stars. Princess Leia was Weeks Dye Works. I wanted to say no, she's not Peanut Brittle. She was Blackbird and Grits. Okay, so Princess Leia was Blackbird and Grits. Ginger was Peanut Brittle. So I thought, how am I going to chart poodles? I don't know how to chart poodles. I'm not that good at charting poodles. So I went into my stash and remembered that many moons ago, I think it was 2021, Gary and Ronny had released their very first Halloween box. And in the Halloween box, I don't remember if the very first one was Erica Michaels or if it was this chart that is from Needle Bling Designs. But I do remember doing an unboxing of this chart, and I was going through and I'm like, oh, those look like the poodles, and there's this, and there's this, and there's that. Oh, that's Gary. That's Frankenstein. Frankenstein is Gary's favorite character. Halloween is Gary's favorite time of year, all year long. So the poodles came from here. So this is the basic outline of the poodles. The coloring I got from Fox and Rabbit Hearts for Ronny. So there's now 3. We have the basic posy, we have the poodles from Needle Bling, and we have the coloring from Fox and Rabbit. Well, on the original, you see here is a teapot. Gary doesn't drink tea. Gary drinks caramel frappuccinos. And so I went online Googled, searched free coffee cross-stitch patterns, and up came this little guy from a website called The World in Stitches. The World in Stitches. I understand that this is free. My printer wasn't working, so I had to hand write it out, and those are my notes. So that's the Frappuccino, and then I put a green straw on it from Starbucks. Now, the coffee pot, or the teapot rather, was over here. But I'm like, I want to put a pumpkin on there because Gary likes Halloween. Well, I can't put two round things together because you have here, you have here the tomato and a crown. So I'm like, no, I think I'm going to put the tomato, move the tomato up and put the Frappuccino underneath it. And over here in place of the teapot, I put a pumpkin from the Pumpkin House by Hello from Liz Matthews. Okay? I just randomly grabbed a pumpkin and put it on there. Well, then I'm finishing up and this is still really blank and I'm like, what the heck am I going to do? And then I remembered, once again, Frankenstitches. And I'm like, how big is Frankenstein's head anyway? That big. So I got to looking and yep, he fit perfectly right here. So that's The World in Stitches, Needle Bling Designs, Fox and Rabbit, Hello from Liz Matthews, and Posy. Some of the other changes I made were the wording. Of course, this was stitched on linen. I am an Ada stitcher, not a linen stitcher. So this is all backstitch. Backstitch, don't scare me. This is all backstitch. And I do not like the word but. Every time someone starts to make a statement and they're going through there and they're making their statement and then they take a deep breath, I start cringing because I know exactly what's coming next. But when you say the word but, you have just negated everything you just said. So you will find that I will find various ways to not say the word but. So this was in an ecru. I did it in a dark, I think it was a dark gray. I don't remember now. It's been so long. The L, I believe, was the same green as Frankenstein's face. I changed out the word but to the word and. Listen, I still want to be invited and I'm not coming. My stitchy bestie Marcia suggested that I take out the word but and put ... so that it would say, listen, I still want to be invited, I'm not coming. And which would have worked as well. The fabric is a 14 count Artiste Ada. Artiste is the brand of Hobby Lobby. And the fabric was a celadon green. And here, when you're sitting here looking at it, this bottom line here just ghosts completely. And honestly, in person, it really truly shows up. I don't know if you'll be able to see it or not, but the scissors, the needle, Frankenstein's bolts in his neck are all, and the pins are all made with a toile. Hold on here a minute. C318. So it's a gray, and then it has that twinkly filament running through it that makes it sparkly like a star. I used green seed beads for the heads of the pins. This is satin stitched. Yes, you can do satin stitch on Ada. And yeah, the rest of it was called for DMC. The call for colors on the dogs, using the charting from Karen of Fox and Rabbit, needle bling, needle bling, Hello from Liz Matthews Pumpkin House, and The World in Stitches. So these are the three gifts. I still have to wrap them. I still have to write out their cards that go with them. They were birthday and anniversary gifts. And then tonight or tomorrow, I will present them to Gary and Ronny. I will ask permission to videotape them opening up the gifts. Oh, and again, the frame is from Signed and Numbered on Etsy. Signed and Numbered. And the framing was done by Acorns and Threads. This is the first time I've ever had a stitching piece professionally framed. I have had Ann Geddes prints professionally framed in the past. However, this is the first time I've ever had stitching professionally framed. And the cost was extremely reasonable. Yeah, it was extremely reasonable. So that is the revelation of the Super Triple Secret Spy project. Let's see, Floss Colors did all that. Coloring for knit. Okay. I started this on the 30th of June, 2024. I kept wanting to start it before that, but I kept telling myself, no, you can't start it until your other, at the time I was working on, which one was it? Ronnie's piece. It was Ronnie's piece. I was working on Grand Old Flag and finishing it up, and I told myself, no, you cannot start Stitcher's RSVP until you have finished Grand Old Flag. Like I said in an earlier video, I'm really pretty chuffed with myself, as my British and Australian friends would say. I'm pretty chuffed with myself that I was able to get this all done. No, I did not get the project, the Floss Blings done. I am going to work on that in the evenings, and I'll have them all passed out by Saturday. Sunday morning, Taylor and I are getting up, we're headed down to Ozark, Alabama to actually see the store and visit the store, and then we are running to Atlanta to catch a flight back to Seattle. This has been an extremely stressful week. Lots of little things going on, and I will tell you the tale later. That's a tale for a different time. I'll tell you the tale later. In the meantime, I am going to go downstairs and I am going to get my stitchy spots set up. I'm going to check in, get my stitchy spots set up. And spend the afternoon with my friends because they're constantly texting me, where are you? Are you coming? Where are you? Are you okay? I'm fine. I'm just exhausted beyond belief. And I'm better now. Now that I've had a shower and I don't feel so sticky and stinky, it's good. So I'm going to go downstairs. I'm going to see Dina, who is Half Stitch Cross Stitch. I'm going to see Carolyn Zook, see Zook Stitch. I'm going to see Gary and Ronny Hovater, who is Garon Stitchery. Taylor. Who else is here this weekend? I'm trying to remember. Brendan and Karen, Fox and Rabbit. They got in just yesterday from a 20+ hour flight to get here from Australia. So yeah, I'm still pooped. So anyway, y'all, I want you to have a phenomenal weekend. Keep crafting, keep curating those supplies, and keep creating with those supplies, and keep inspiring. And above all else, please be kind. Taylor and I were blown away by all the displays of kindness that she and I were shown over these first few days of the week. And we are so impressed with this area of the Southeast. So be kind. You have absolutely no idea what the path someone else is walking, and your kind words, your kind act, your kind deed may be enough to change their lives. Okay? I will come at you soon. I will do another Flosstube once I get back home to Seattle. And recap the weekend. And in the meantime, be careful. Take care. Love you to pieces. Bye-bye.